Hello everyone and welcome to our podcast series. This is Joseph Lusier here, and I've been working with Tong Ren for 25 to 30 years. My simple goal is to share all this knowledge with everyone else. I want to give you data, information, testimonials, all the things that can help you in your practice, help you understand, share that information with others so they can also appreciate and understand through their own experience the benefits of Tong Ren therapy. Each week we go through a new topic, and each week we want to hear from you guys so that you can tell us about what you think and what you want to hear about. So I look forward to seeing all of you, enjoying this great podcast series, and giving you all the information possible, and above all, answering your questions to help you on your journey to health and to being of service to other people as well. Thank you very much. Hello, imagine you're in a clinic with a bunch of people waiting for sessions, healing sessions, experiencing things like Tong Ren and Tui Na, where I used to work for over 25 years. And then up on the elevator comes a Rottweiler, a usually aggressive animal, but that was my patient. So I was visiting with Kaiser that day. So Kaiser is a wonderful dog. I think at that time he was probably 12 or 13 years old. And he certainly had some issues, some hip issues in particular. So whenever he would arrive, I would watch how he would walk. And a lot of times you can see the back area being quite tight. So from a Tong Ren perspective, and even a Tui Na Asian bodywork perspective, our goal is to open up blood flow. So the thing we need to understand is this condition is called hip dysplasia, which is basically the hip becomes a little bit loose, not connected as well as it should be. And this is something that can happen from excessive breedings in large dogs a lot of times. So what you want to do is increase blood flow and nerve flow to the area. So that's our main goal. And we can do that with our hands and with Tong Ren. Same approach. But on this specific day, I was having a visit from Kaiser, and Kaiser's owner is a kid named Brendan, and I'm really close friends with his dad, and we've known each other for many years. So the key is to work on blood flow, nerve flow, and to remove inflammation and to allow mobility to improve. So that's what we did. We worked for a while. And what we wanted to do is increase the area very specifically T11, T12, L4, and L5. So that's the main focus of the treatment. Okay? Because that does a few things. That is a targeted area to open blood flow and nerve flow to the area, but also something very, very important called the lumbosacral plexus. So those are the nerves that go to the hips, the legs, and the feet. So that's the whole bioelectrical area from the spine to the hips to the feet. So we wanted to help Kaiser out. So like I say, he got off the elevator. People were a little bit concerned because these dogs are known to be aggressive. But this dog was incredibly friendly. So he came for his appointment. He walked across the whole clinic area, and then he walked into my treatment room. And we worked on those very specific areas, T11, T12, L4, and L5. So like I said, the area is to open up bioelectrical and circulation flow to the area to loosen up the hips. Of course, at the same time, I was seeing his owner for general maintenance. He's a construction worker. So we wanted to work on opening up his back, helping him to maintain a healthy perspective on his heavy construction work, specifically on some bridges in our area that are extremely important. So we worked for a while on Kaiser. We worked with Tong Ren, and we actually did hands-on work as well. So we would literally work, as we always do with Tong Ren and the others, next to the spine. And because that's where we get the best bang for our buck for opening up bioelectrical nerve flow from the brain to the spine to the target area of the hips. That's specifically our target. As we talk about a lot in Tong Ren and even the Tuina Asian bodywork, deep tissue massage, we want to reestablish the brain wound connection. And this specific case is about the brain wound communication to the hips, to the pelvic area, and to the lumbosacral plexus, which is basically the distribution channel of communication from the brain to the lower waist to that whole area, that whole pelvic area. So I think that's critically important to understand. Dogs, in my experience, they understand Tong Ren when I'm doing sessions at a distance. There was one specific dog that would come over to the phone because they would normally equate the tapping sound on the phone to the energy they're receiving, kind of like Pavlov's dog. But overall, they would receive energy and they always would lay down near the phone, near their person, and just receive the energy. They have no resistance. It feels good, it's good, period. So, Tong Ren distance healing is excellent for animals. So, another great success story was about working on horses. So, horses, in my opinion, are sort of sacred animals because they seem to be incredibly in tune with communications and signaling with other animals, including us. There are many places that use horses, especially out in the West. They would have a healing table around a patient, and the horses would come, sometimes leaning their head on the patient to help them to heal. They are that powerful and they are that sensitive. So I worked on horses as well. There was a person named June. That was her thing. She was one with the horses and she wanted them to be helpful. And Tong Ren is especially helpful. So if you do the 3-part process, blood flow to the brain, brain down the spine, on the back, then the vagus nerve down the front, you can do a great tune-up. But this specific case, and I saw the specific video for it, was where there was a bioelectrical disruption. And this was very critical because horses are very sensitive because they need to run. They basically stand up all the time and they need to have a synchronous gait. So I saw a video before the horse was treated and there was a disruption. The center part of the back where the people would sit was a little bit lower. It was a little bit unstructured. So we did Tong Ren, and I taught this person how to do Tong Ren for this wonderful animal as well. So we wanted to improve the gait and improve the spinal structure. Because when we work with Tong Ren, we can reestablish blood flow, nerve flow, and even the consciousness of the communication and the reestablishment of proper structure and flow from the brain to the target area. That's the magic of Tong Ren. The signals were interfered, had resistance for that specific horse, and it was reflected very clearly in the videos that I saw of the horse's gait being non-perfect or being subpar. So that was really important. So it would be great for the horse to basically, if you imagine all these moving parts, to move in a rhythm. That's what horses do. That's why they're used even for racing, which can sometimes be cruel for them, but they are so efficient in their bodies, so connected to all the parts of their bodies. Tong Ren is magical for them because it allows the possibility of removing resistance to re-establishing the interconnectedness of energy throughout the entire body of an animal. They call them a beast, but I'd say they are a sacred animal that needs to have that interconnected communication throughout the whole body. Humans alone have 32.7 trillion cells, all with their own rhythms, all doing different work. There needs to be communication and collaboration. So the good news is with this specific horse, I saw a video of the horse before, and I'm not a horse master or horse person or even a horse whisperer, but I could see that there were some struggles, but I was not expert enough to see that when I saw a video after the session, there was rhythm, there was fluid, there was flow. Even the spinal structure was changed. All these things had improved, and the integration of this wonderful animal in synchronous flow was all in unison. It was amazing to see. It was just wonderful because that horse was sensitive, that horse had resistance, and the bioelectrical flow reestablished throughout the whole body of that horse allowed it to move in unison, in synchronous beauty and behavior. So that's what Tong Ren can do. Even Tui Na, people work on animals with acupuncture and Tui Na, but Tong Ren is especially beneficial because we can literally work on the blood flow, nerve flow, the three-part process: blood flow to the brain, from the brain down the spine, then from the brain down the vagus nerve. When you do those three things, you are reestablishing harmony from a yin-yang perspective and from a blood flow and nerve flow perspective. And we can even add another layer that we do now, which is an advanced technique. And this would also be good for horses and even Kaiser, our buddy Kaiser. We can work on increasing cranial sacral flow. So why is that important? Because cranial sacral flow nourishes the brain, which communicates with the whole body, nourishes the spine, which communicates with every gland and every single organ. So it's another way to do a tune-up. Craniosacral fluid from the crystal palace, or the area of the brain of the hypothalamus, thalamus, pituitary, and pineal glands, which are basically like a little generator area connecting to the cosmos, in technical terms, being an antenna for the cosmos and being an antenna for the consciousness of the actual living being, and communicating, sending information through photons and biophotons to the rest of the body. That's the basic magic. But when you think of Tong Ren interfaces with that magical structure, those cosmic systems of our own body, to bring us back into balance, to bring us back into harmony with nature. Then when we are in harmony with nature, we are in harmony with nature, which is connected to basically the entire universe. Yes, it is that profound. So again, for the horses, for the dogs, Kaiser, shout out to Kaiser. Long story short, when we finished our session with Kaiser, not only was his person feeling better, but I always watch Kaiser as he walked back to the elevator. And the thing you watch for is the hips and the legs are moving independently. So instead of one locked, painful block area kind of walking with two legs the same, they need to walk like us, back and forth with balance. And he was very happy. And this is a Rottweiler, which are known for being aggressive. This guy likes massage, comes right up to me. I give him the massage. I do the Tong Ren. He digs it. He does great. And he feels great. So these are the great things you can do with Tong Ren and even Tui Na massage. Animals are great because they don't have a lot of preconceived notions about, oh, this is crazy, this is weird. Nope, they feel energy. Energy is good. They're happy. They move better. And they go on with their lives. No judgment. Perfect. So I've worked on cats, dogs, horses, rabbits, and guinea pigs. And they all are responsive to this great work. So enjoy working with animals to great satisfaction because they love the work and everything else that you can do. So thank you. And Tong Ren, Healing Without Borders, is also the border between other animals. No separation, no politics, no religion, no ethnicity, nothing. From a Buddhist perspective, all sentient beings are connected by this energetic force, also known as the Tao or universal consciousness. And Tong Ren is a superpower which can basically be a very targeted approach for taking advantage of that wonderful healing energy. So thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you. And if you have any further questions, check out our website, anusawellness.com. If you want to learn how to do Tong Ren, I have single-day seminars because I want people to get up to speed as soon as possible so they can help people, friends, family, pets, all of these things. So take care. Check us out. Hope to see you soon. Bye now. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Tap into Tong Ren, Stories of Healing and Change podcast. I'd love to know, what did you think? Did you have any aha moments? What got you fired up? Did this episode make you more curious about this healing world, or make you think differently about specific topics and hopefully expand your awareness? Let us know your feedback and always feel free to contribute and share your own ideas and recommendations. Let us know what is your possible personal experience in this area. Think about what you heard that got you most excited. Figure out how you can ignite that fire by taking a first step or going deeper into your own practice. This is your nudge for you to question what you have heard from us, for you to question what you've heard from others, and above all, get to the truth that you need in order to be empowered and excited about your practice and your own health. Question things and get out of your comfort zone and start making things happen. If you have questions, reach out to the community. Also, we have lots of resources like online courses and live workshops to support you. Once again, thank you for thinking about us and listening to our Tong Ren Community podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode of Tap into Tong Ren, Stories of Healing and Change. We hope to continue to empower, inspire, and uplift people on their journey to optimum health. Join us each time and let's take charge of our health and share this important information with the world.